engine we call Shodan, and Shodan is a search engine for things. So where we use our Google to search for everything that we want, we can search for things, and by things I mean cameras and what else do you want to printers that are connected, all devices, because all devices are linked. It's got an IP address, then I can search for that. So I can search for specific cameras, make models, and then I can access that. And simple thing, check whether the default settings is in there. Check if your default login and password is there, because if your device is installed, such as your proxies, then immediately that default setting is in place. So if you don't go and change that, then your default will still be in place. Oh, and then the deep and the dark web. We have the normal web, which is actually just a small part of the internet, and then we have the deep web, and the deep web just means it's not indexable by a search engine. So that's behind a firewall. So you first have to log in. So you have to log in into your bank or into your intranet at home. So that's what's behind that firewall is not indexable. So it's not indexed by your search engine. So that's what we call it the deep web. We can still get to that, but you have to have the right logins to do that. And then we get the dark web. And that is actually a cool place to go onto the dark web, because now you don't have to go downstairs and find somebody to sell your local sniff of cannabis, but you can actually just go online, and it can be delivered by the post office. That's cool, isn't it? Change the environment, and all what you want, all what you have to. So how do you get onto the dark web? Your first step is to download a specific browser. Now, if you're familiar with the Mozilla Firefox browser, it works exactly the same. The name of this browser is Tor, T-O-R, and it's not illegal to download Tor. It's not illegal to go onto the dark web. Okay, don't let Big Brother warn you there of things that doesn't exist. Huh? So you can access the dark web. Now the only difference between the dark web is run on a different protocol. So you will see at the end, excuse me. At the end it's not .html, but it will be a .onion, because it's the onion protocol. So whenever you see a URL that's not really readable, and at the end it's a .onion in the URL, then you know, okay, but this is a dark web link. There's an example of the Tor browser. Now what we find on the dark web is nice information of local hacks. We find information regarding companies and their servers, regarding our Defence Force servers, the Defence Force, that is open and of which the information is available. Okay, so does your company know that? Most probably not. That image on the right side is the arms corps dump, okay, where you can get all of the information regarding their financial status. And then you can buy whatever you desire. I don't know what is your flavor of the day in terms of your drugs or your illegal substances, or whether you regard that as legal, I don't know. And most of these guys, you know what these platforms normally stay up for just a limited time, and the problem with your dark web is that it's not really searchable. Okay, so you really have to spend some time to get the right URLs, and also on your darker forums. Now remember, there are real darker forums, but you can't just access that by mistake. You need to be invited to them, especially those that focus on child pornography, that you will have to prove yourself, and that really is one of the bad sides of our society. Okay, then we see sometimes you want to go back and buy some more, and then suddenly the site is closed, and then it's taken over by some police. So what is your digital tattoo? What do I mean by that is how present are you within the social media space? Facebook? Oh, Facebook is dead. Now it's Instagram. The younger generation comes in with the Instagram. And now Snapchats. WhatsApp, what do you do for communication? WhatsApp. Is that the main one, all of you? You think that's secure? No. Things like Telegram, you use Telegram. Telegram is one of the first ones, and still one of the most secure ones. Signal, Secret, there's quite a lot of applications that enable you to have secure communication system. But the digital tattoo is about what is available in terms of your own profile. In other words, if I target you as a big gun in a company, the CEO or the CIO or the CFO, what information will I find in order to target you personally? Do you do a search on yourself? Oh, you're so vain. Oh, you do that all the time. You know, I do that. Go and check what is available, or contact me and then I will show you what's available.
Especially the data and photos.
Photos, Instagram. So we like to show off. Okay. Yeah, we all do that. I'm so wonderful and I've got this wonderful life. And I'm traveling. Okay, whether that's to Joburg or Durban or some foreign famous country. So what do? Is we upload a picture of our boarding pass. Now our boarding pass system still works on a barcode. And what you do is just type in on Instagram. That's what I've done, is that I just typed in boarding pass and then you get millions of results. You look for a nice pic that you can crop the barcode. You put it onto an online scanner, and what information is necessary for you to do your online booking? What do they give you afterwards? They give you a booking code, and of course your surname, and then you are able to book your seat. Now that's exactly the same information that's on that barcode, so I can access that. So you think you are going to board this flight, or maybe you are going to sit next to your girlfriend in seat 6C. I'm going to sit there. So you're going to move down to another seat. It's just because I have access, and I can change that. Okay? So just because of a simple thing is that we don't think just for a moment, you know what, just let that common sense just creep in. So, but what am I uploading here? We tend to preach this to the upcoming generation and the teenagers, but we're bad at this, huh? Okay, that's the online scanner. So Brian Krebs is he was actually a reporter, and then he moved into the security space, and he's got a blog, Krebs on Security, and he writes about security in a very nice manner. And one thing that he put up is that people don't realize is what is your email worth. So what if somebody's got access to your email? Okay, now think for a bit. Is that we use these simple passwords in terms of our email, but what do we do with that email address? What did it give us in terms of access? Where do you log in? All over the place, from your bank right through. And what is that worth? Okay, so you can unpack that. And then how crime moves, the movement of crime between our online and our offline environment, is that your criminal entities will follow the money. Okay, so if that money moves from our drug industry, that is only in the physical space, now they move that into the online environment because it just makes it easier. And it down their costs a bit. So I don't have to have all of these dealers, huh? I can just produce that in the online environment. Human trafficking, it's a big problem in South Africa. Actually a huge problem currently, and we see the numbers stats is escalating. If I take for an example, I think it was in 2015, the avocado industry in Mexico was more lucrative than the drug industry. Why? Because everybody wanted Mexican food, and guacamole was the big thing. And what happened then is that your drug cartels moved into protecting the avocado crops. So that's how your crime networks move. And we need to understand how that crime networks move within the South African space. This is one that you maybe can just check on the slides if you have time. And it just shows that if we talk about the cyberspace and the criminal entities involved in that we tend to not think that they are a business. They run as a business. We can follow a lot of the spam, a lot of the ransomware that they keep office hours. So they have weekends. So you have your specific societies that they also need network engineers, and they need your software developers. They need researchers. They have the best research and development sections. I've applied for a job a few times, but I don't know. Apparently I'm not good with it. And then we get people that don't understand that they are actually forming part of that network. So we all see these Facebook ads, make money from home. Yeah, think about that. So if I'm not a prostitute, how the hell am I going to make money from home? I don't know. Okay, so what they do is they put up these ads. And why do they put up these ads? Because they need some South African with a valid ID that can open a bank account. Okay, so all they want you is to open a bank account in your name, get the whole FICA process, and then, for instance, the entity will transfer 10,000 a month, and you can keep 1,000. Okay, and you're part of this criminal network. You just don't realize that, because remember, they can't just take that millions that they stole in terms of the ransomware and suddenly just distribute that within your normal economy, because then your banks will pick it up. So rather than one transfer of 60,000 now, they just spatter that into a number of 10,000s. And we will see this escalating if we look at the problems in our economy. So if somebody doesn't have work and you promise him something like that, of course he will do that, no? And this is just an example that if you look even at the comments, if I go back to that slide, is a typical advert for a money mule, is that you can work from home, and you see the same mum is in South Africa, and then suddenly she moved to New Zealand. No, she didn't immigrate, she's still in both countries. And that they just adapt the ad for the different countries. So it's not just a South African problem. But even the comments are the same. This is so cool. And then you get a lot of software that you can utilize within the space. DuckDuckGo is another search engine. Opera is a browser. So you don't have to use Google Chrome, because Google Chrome just eats your resources. Opera actually comes with a built-in VPN. So you can manipulate your searches, and you can actually access Netflix from another country, get access to different movies. Don't believe everything I say, huh? Just use it, don't use it. And then we get VPNs. If you don't understand the working of a VPN, the first one what you can do is hide my ass. It gives you a free version that you can start off with and see how that works for you. I'm using NordVPN, RD VPN. Gives you, it's not that expensive on a 2-year contract, and you get that for a lot of devices. So you can buy your 5 devices, so you can implement that on your phone as well as on your PCs. The others I don't think we have all that time with. What is my time? Somebody will stop me. Okay, so what can we do personally? In terms of South Africa, we do have a problem in the cybersecurity skills space. Our universities didn't catch up. We still train our cybersecurity experts and wait for them up to a master's level before they start focusing on security. We really have a shortage of really skilled people in that environment. And it's just going to grow because security is part of everything. It's not in silos, so it's not something that stands alone. Okay, you can just think about anything that you do, what is the security implications thereof? And we read of that every day in the papers. And we haven't seen yet on our critical infrastructure an attack. Okay, touch wood, we haven't seen that. But just think for yourself, what if they take down Eskom? No, still, the lights are still burning, but really, what if they take down a substation? They are able to clean out a substation anyway in the evening's time, but what if they really take that out? What is the implications thereof? And how would you get that back online? In terms of our water system, we've been in Cape Town now through this drought, okay, but that was a gradual thing. But what if it's just switched off? It's not, you know, it's something in terms of your critical infrastructure, you can't just, it's not just a switch that you can switch back on and think, but there's no water, now there's water. These systems need really a phase of a few months to get back online again. And I don't think we really understand the consequences in that regard. We just think in terms of cybersecurity, oh, they have access to my bank account. I don't have money either, so, but, you know, and that's it. But we would just, I think, broaden our horizons there and just think a bit wider in terms of that implications. And I get back to that point that we need to understand that environment and that entities and how they operate within the space.